I'll give it up. Ah! Oh! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Oh shit! I baited the activation. You see that shit? EVO 2019, most of you guys have already seen the registration numbers. There's been a lot of people talking about it already. A lot of really good discussion to come from that too, right? There's a lot of really good stories, I think, going into this year's EVO. Looking at, how, in particular, from a community perspective, right? Something that is cool to me is looking at numbers. And in particular, the numbers behind registration, right? Here, I'll show you this. This guy's responsible for doing a lot of tests on input delay, actually, for games when they come out. This is a graph that he made by plugging in a lot of the data from tournament entrants and registrants. The size of the balls represent the like the size of the entrant pool, right, for that respective game. And then the arrows show relationships between competitors entering. You know what? This is a joke that I didn't see anybody else make, but I'm gonna be honest with you. There's one circle that's missing from this, and I think you all know where I'm going with this. There's one circle that's obviously missing, and it's this one. Now, I'm thinking you post this one way the fuck over here. Now, you can see where I'm going with this. I think we can make it legit. We can make it legit. Why not? Technically, the circle would be small, right? If we're gonna do this correct, and mind you, it gotta be extreme too. You know some brothers be packing up in that ballroom. A little bit here, a little bit there. This is how this should go, right? This is how this should look. It's like just a little bit to all these. Nothing. Easy joke to make, right? For sure. But this is 2019, right? Look at 2018. This is the 2018 version. Obviously, DBFZ this year was huge, 2,500 entrants. But look at the amount of crossover for this game. Sam Show this year is essentially like Dragon Ball was last year, right? It feels that way. Smash Brothers, Wii U, and Melee. Look at those at the bottom. There's only really like a couple arrows that they really have going, right? So check this out. What this is a crossover percentage. So everybody that entered a game at EVO, this tracked how much crossover they had with other titles. So for example, if you registered for Tekken and Smash Brothers Ultimate, for Tekken, you would be represented under this category right here, under this 14%. Look at Sam's show. From left to right, a lot of green. You knew this was going to go down this way. You knew this was going to happen. With the way that the game build is, with the way that, you know, it's relatively easy. You can pick up a character and learn their optimized combos in 4 or 5 minutes, right? Not very difficult. The bulk of your time investment with the game is going to come from learning frame data and guaranteed punishes and instant block timing. So you look at the 2018 numbers. Look at this. Look at Melee. Look at Wii U. 14%, they exchange 14% with one another. And that's for two games that are pretty similar. But we know that, right? Those communities typically, they're pretty vocal about how they do, but they don't really mess with each other. You know what I mean? The interesting thing was for DBFZ this year. You can look at DBFZ, just look at the column, man. Like I said, Sam's show this year feels like DBFZ last year. A lot of crossover that built into that 2,500 as well, right? Greener than SF5. Just look at the bulk of crossover there. New game bump, right? DBFZ, a lot of crossover with MK, a lot of crossover with Sam's show, of course. Smash. That's interesting. So on the back end, a lot of DBFZ players still mess with Smash. Total and unique players per game. Look at this number, man. It makes complete sense why, you know, they might have been okay not having Melee this year. Sam's show, you can see, like, look at that crossover. High, super, like, you knew it would be that way, right? BB Tag, bulk of it is crossover. Under Night, lots of people playing other stuff. It makes a lot of sense. You look across the board, most people that play fighting games will play other shit. It's just funny, man. Like, looking at some of the stuff. That Smash Ultimate this year, you got to put some respect on it. That's a very high volume of people that came through. So this is like event growth per year. 2012, the total amount of players registered was 2,793. They probably don't have this data for 2011, 2010, or before that. But to be honest with you, this is also when EVO kind of started to change. I went in 2011. I didn't go in 2012, 2013, 2014. Came back in 2015. And it was a huge difference from the last time I had been there. 2012, you can see 2,793 entrants, 39 countries. Total game registration, so 2,793 players, 4,989 entrants in terms of like people that entered a game, right? Look at the boost in numbers going from 2012 all the way up to 2016. Pretty much like what, plus 800, plus 500 then. Big jump in 2015, big jump in 2016. But this year, pretty much, damn, that's crazy. 2016, they almost had 10K people. But to be fair, I think this is cool too. 73 countries registered in 2016. The numbers that's missing from these kinds of graphs is spectators, actually. As time has gone on, especially in the past, like, it feels like in the past, like, it's always been, like, kind of a spectator thing. But it feels like in the past, I would say, 6 to 7 years, as a spectator event, it's definitely grown more and more every year. It'd be interesting to have access to those, for sure. Players by country, as you would expect. United States, obviously, very high volume, 6,785. Aruba, El Salvador, Italy, Pakistan. Yo, Pakistan in there. Over 80 countries represented this year. That's pretty cool. That's crazy. 2016, you had damn near 10,000 people in there. You actually have more countries represented this year. As time went on, it kind of grew into that role more. And you could definitely see it kind of peaking with it, going into like 2012, 2013, when the event really started to take off in that direction. It grew into that world championship kind of a, feel. Number of players and countries per game. What do you think is going to be... I'm not looking at the graph. What do you think is going to be the most international game at EVO? If I had to guess, I would say SF5 Ultimate? Tekken is probably close, I would imagine, but let's see. 1192 players, countries, less than 30. So, yeah, that makes sense, right? Mostly you're going to be, Europe, North America, Asia's like mostly just Japan, maybe a couple people from Korea. I think about it, less than 30 makes sense. But then you peak with Street Fighter V. Yeah, Street Fighter V, obviously well over 50. Probably closer to, like, maybe 55 or something like that. BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, how many? 15? That makes sense, right? It's pretty much, North America and Japan. Maybe you have some smelly Europeans playing it, but I can't imagine there's too many people in a lot of far reaches of the earth that are going ham for that game, riding for it. I was expecting Smash Ultimate to maybe have a little bit more. Maybe that makes sense, too. If you think about it, that game is... I think typically a little bit more skewed towards North, South America, Japan, Europe. Street Fighter, I think, maybe still has a little bit more international reach overall, though. But yo, Tekken actually pretty damn close, to be honest with you. Number of games per player. I can't imagine anybody entering more than 3 games at EVO. Obviously, you don't have to play in all of them that you register for, right? I signed up for 3 games. I'd imagine, yeah, there's probably a solid group of people that would sign up. 2 to 3, I think seems like the popular, I would say, amount, I guess, to enter games in a tournament like that. Of course, you're always going to have these weirdos who just enter everything. Damn, they drop like $200 on registration. That's wild. When you say things like that, I'm just going to ignore you, man. You always try to get me in trouble. Always trying to get me to say something stupid. Total number of foreign entrants. Dragon Ball, 1,033, 159. 15% from outside the country. Street Fighter V, 28% from outside the country. Tekken, 13% from outside the country. 28, 24. What about Smash? Damn, look at all these Bruh, Smash is just nothing but filthy Americans. Look at this shit. 9%? 300 people, that makes sense, right? But 3,300 smelly-ass motherfuckers just running around in there, rubbing their armpits on all the chairs. You know the crazy thing is, man, all the Smash Brothers people that I met and had I actually like them a lot, man. Rob the Dutch, I'm a big fan of Rob the Dutch. I don't have a bad thing to say about Rob the Dutch, D1, who else? TK Breezy. I don't have a bad thing to say about him. The actual Smash Brothers. I think he's funny. Even K-Taro in like a Wayne Brady kind of way, right? I think they seem pretty cool. Top SF5 players, no thanks. Top SF5. Most of the top 100 from CPT are going to be present. I mean, that's not really a surprise to anybody. Yeah, it's just cool looking at numbers, I guess. That's all.